How are you, Mr. Nikesh? Can you hear me?
Yes, Arshad. I can hear you.
Have you attended any session before for LangGraph?
No, no, it's the first time.
Okay, let me put this. Uh, Let me put it in the chat. Yeah, 1 second. We are live. Anyways, yes, just give me 1 minute. What about any one of you have attended any LangGraph session before? Just put in the chat. Uh, Residency. Residency. We are live, and then we have guild. Guild. Okay, that max. This is the maximum I can do. No people join. They not join. No problem. Oh no, we have. Okay, so this is a workshop. No, so I am just going to try to explain in a very simple way what is LangGraph and how is it different. So this is a complete new architecture that is there. So for the people who are new, don't worry. I'll be sharing you the notebook, the slides, and everything. So you can take it. You can take it step by step. And this is LangGraph is a new concept that is. Combination of Lang family. If you all know Lang chain, how many of you have heard about Lang chain? Can you just put in the chat Lang chain? Yeah, so AI residents, I think every one of you have heard. I don't know about Kritika, but I don't know. No one is joining from. Uh, Maybe they will join later. Yes. So it is a part of the LangChain ecosystem. So I will share my screen in 1 minute. We will officially start the session. Uh, and this is something that I have done a couple of workshops on this. Today also I am introducing it at a ground level, and especially for the current residents that are there, like some of you are there, Nikesh, Sayed, they will relate to it more because we have done a lot of things on LangChain. So yeah. So Kritika, no problem. LangChain is fine. It is just an eco. It's just a framework, just to define. It's a framework of how to use large language model. That is the simple format. So you have, all of you have worked on large language models. So this is just a new framework to work on large language models. So let me tell you the, for people who know LangChain, for them you can relate little bit, but I will try to talk more about LangChain. So this is a slide that I had made for a project. So you don't need to get into the project details now, but a little bit theory about LangGraph I will tell you, right? So yeah, if people who are not speaking, just can you be on mute? If you have anything, yeah, if you have anything, you can raise your hands. Let me just, and I will open the floor for Q&A later on. So let me share my screen. So for people, so this is a new concept that is there. This is a library within the LangChain ecosystem, and this is the foundation for the AI agents that we are hearing a lot. The agent that we are hearing about a lot about, LangGraph is a system that is being used to design these stateful multiple agent systems. So these are some of the words that I'm going to talk about, and it is ideal for managing complex non-linear workflow. So non-linear means, because in LangChain, what happens, if you know, do it's a chain, it's a step-by-step process. If this do this, if this do that. But LangGraph, it is not like that. It is a little bit more non-linear, and I will show you in a diagram as well. And I don't want to talk a lot of theory today because this is outcome-based workshop, but just to show you people who understand little bit about LangChain. If you don't understand about LangChain, I will talk more about it later. But think about the structure in LangChain. It is chain. In LangGraph, it is more of a graph system. And the components in the LAN chain is memory, prompt, LLM. But here it is node, edges, and state. These are the three things I will talk about it. And the state management. What is the state management? Just think about it that the LLM has the power to think. LLM has the power to think what to do, what not to do. So this is something that you are giving the LLM the brain to decide what it should use or not. So if you remember, Nikesh, in our we were doing some workshops in which we had that option to select should it select Wikipedia or should it select search. So those type of things are more complex in LangGraph compared to LangChain. There is a little bit option, but in LangGraph you can do more of more complex use cases than LangChain. So there are three things that are there. Theory, I will show you in the diagram also. Three most important concepts that all of you should know in a LangGraph is nodes, which is something like a when I show you the diagram, you'll understand what is a node. It is it is a function that changes the state and returns the state. So state is something like it's an if you understand chemistry or physics, state is like when something changes, the state changes. So if there is a specific action that a LLM does, then the state changes accordingly. So nodes manage that particular stage. And when I show you the diagram, you will understand more. And edges are the connections between the different nodes that is there. So one node is the LLM node. This one node is the input node. These are the nodes, and the edges are the connections between them. And conditional edges are which are asking for a specific. If there is a specific request, where should it go? That conditional edges is the conditional routing. I will show you the diagram so it will become more clear. So I will show you this particular diagram. This one you will get more clear about this diagram. Or let me. Yes. So we have, so what I will do is I will take a pen and I will draw this diagram so that all of you will understand here. So I see some new people who are joining. If you have any questions, Hani, Julian, you can pause and you can ask here. I will just introducing this concept about Lang graph, which is a part of the Lang family, and this is more used for playing around with agents. So just there's a little bit of theory. I don't want to take much time here by taking out drawing this diagram, but just to show you, these are the nodes. So this, if there is a start action, if there is an input from a user, if there is an input from a user, then we have the this is a node, and this is a edge, and this is a conditional edge wherein it decides whether it should go to node 2 or node 3. And then we have the, and accordingly it will end. This is basically a lang plus a graph, the thing that is calling it as a lang graph. And if you see uh, how it looks in a real term scenario, if there is a input, the LLM or function calling will understand, like suppose you are asking for the latest news or the latest weather, it will understand whether LLM can answer it, or it does it need to go to a tool like a open weather database or a Google search database, and then get the output that is there. So this is what it is doing. And this is the structure, this is the basic structure. But if you see a project, how it looks like, it looks something like this. When you start a specific input, then the LLM is like the brain of your application. Like if you have a question about AI news and weather, then the LLM will decide. It will go to the tool. So the tool will be something like the web or the archive or wiki or any other latest weather software that will give. It will have the brain and Dikesh and all. If you remember, you saw how it decided which LLM to use and which LLM not to use. When I say LLM, which LLM tool, not LLM. LLM will be only one here, like whichever you're using, OpenAI or Gemini or what, if you're using open source or closed source, that doesn't matter. But which tool you are using, you will define a set of 5, 6 tools, and the LLM will have the brain to understand which tool it will understand and it will use, and it uses a concept called as a React. So I know a lot of you have heard about this React prompt concept that we have talked a lot about. React is reason and acting. This is the prompt template condition that these LLMs are using to decide which tool should we use, and then this LLM will get the output. So this is a good thing about graph. So the LLM will get the output, and then the LLM will decide whether this output is correct. So there is going to be a extra layer of checking that happens. So right now in most of the LangChain, what happens that the tool gives an output and then the LLM just surprises it. But if the LLM feels that the answer is not correct, that the news is not latest and the temperature is not correct, so it is going to again send back the request to the tool. So it becomes an iterative process. Then this is the major difference between a LangGraph ecosystem and a LangChain ecosystem that is there. That is the reason why agents are more likely to use LangChain, because as you know, in an agent, they have to have multiple iterations. If you don't like an output, the LLM will decide, no, it is not that good. We need to make it better. So it is going to go back and ask the tool. Suppose for a specific question, the web is not giving a proper answer. Then they will go to wiki, and there is a cycling process that happens until the best output is being received, and then it is ended. So this is the whole process that is work, and that is the reason why this is called line graph, and it is using lot of reasoning and action. Okay. Yes, this is correct. This results, yes. See, as we go, if you want more accurate answers, if you want more uh, s- uh, better answers, these things really happen. The consumption will increase, because that is the reason why you need to have some restrictions to the iterations, or you need to have some token limitations as well. And this is because every iteration the token consumption increases, so you have to be little careful. But this is how the system works. Now I will just show you one thing that I wanted to also say. Other than the how the processes are happening and things are going across different tools, there is something called as a state. And this is like an, you can say, decides whether uh, it should whatever is happening. It's like the brain, the same thing that I showed you. State is something that it decides, and it has the uh, control over whatever is happening, and it is the one who is controlling all the input and output. So this is something called as a state, which is also uh, just to make sure that everything that is happening is under control and is under the guardrails. And this is something that everyone of us should also know about. So these are the theoretical concepts. I don't want to go much into theory now. This is just to understand the best way to learn about line graph. And I request everyone, because it keeps updating a lot, is this website. That is, I will show you, because I just yeah, today only I was looking at this website. They have added new things. I had done a workshop on LangGraph 2 weeks back, and then they have changed this particular stuffs with lot of other things. So if you can see the title now, how it is talking about LangGraph, it is balance agent control with an agency, gain control with LangGraph to design agents that reliably handle complex tasks, build and scale agentic application with the LangGraph platform. So in LangGraph, there are a lot of things that you can do. It is giving you control at the uh, core level to do the changes, and I will show you in the code as well. When I'm running the code, I will show you this as well. So it is very good for doing things at low level frameworks. And if you see how it works, this particular thing, I will share you this website. So the thing that same thing that I showed you, right? It starts, then the LLM decides what to do, then it sends a request to the tools, and then it gets a response from the tools. And once you run it in there is something called the LangGraph Studio. Once you run a question, and it will show you the visualization also how it works. So this is something that we'll discuss in another workshop. LangGraph Studio. But if you see this video, you will see how it works, and it will show you at one particular time which node is activated and what it is doing. It is going to show you in the logs here, and then the same diagram that I showed you here. This diagram, I think this diagram is good enough for you to understand what is happening. The same diagram that it is shown in the LangGraph documentation, I drew this here in very simple terms, where this is the, we call it LLM, they call it LLM, you can call it agent, you can call it anything, but this is the brain that decides everything that is there. Tool is something like, if the, like the web tool, uh, the archive tool, wiki tool, calculator tool, all the tools that you define that help you to attain the specific task. Like in this, the task is to get the latest AI news, or to know the latest temperature. So this, everything is done in this way, and then the AI agent or the LLM will decide whether this answer is correct or not, and it is going to send it to the end. And then this is what is going to happen, and it is going to give you an output accordingly, like this. So this is something that you will have a look at. I'll put it on the chat as well. Yes. This is, yes, thanks a lot, Hani. This is very, very important. How you are using it with the tool, this is the most important thing, which tool you have to use. And one more thing is, and in the last master class also I was mentioning, you need to define what are the best tools that can solve your use case accordingly. Because if you give them lot of tools, it is going to get little bit confused. So you need to define some specific tools that you really want for your use case, that is in the action part. So this is the thing that is there. Now I'll go to the directly, I will jump to the code. Don't, I will be sharing you all of you this code file for all of you to run step by step. And yeah, so this is the code. This is a very simple graph. So every one of you, you need to start with making a simple graph. That is the first step that all of you need to do. Simple graph system at a low level programming, right? Starting with a creating a node, creating a edges, and then creating the whole graph. And this is the code base for this. And I request all of you, I'm not going to share it live now in the call. I will run the code in front of you. I will put this on GitHub, and then I will be sharing this with all the people who have registered, and I'll put in the WhatsApp group. You can try it yourself. Two requisites to run this notebook, right? Two requisites are there. So if I will, in front of you, I am going to put it in GitHub. It is called Simple Graph. I'm going to put the name. The date is 28th February. I just finished working on this notebook. Uh, the, just to how, and I will show you how to run this notebook to everyone, right? If you really want to understand how LangChain works, you need to run this code, and step by step I've explained everything as well. Everything is from the latest documentation by from LangGraph as well. I have taken the documentation and tried to explain it. You need to know a little bit of Python, but it is not mandatory. So once you get this notebook link, everyone, this you'll I will be sharing this with you. You need to open in Colab. I will not do it now, or else you get confused. You just need to open in Colab this link that you see right now, and after that you need to go and set the key. You need to get a Grok API key that is there, and if you don't have it, I will share you as well a video of how to get it. We have done a lot of workshops on this as well. So these are the two requisites. After this, you can run it step by step. The notebook is meant for you to run this step by step that is there. So basic things that are there, just for people who understand a little bit of Python, we are defining a basic class, and then we are setting our nodes. So for example, just to show you what example I am saying, like tomorrow, I'll just take a simple example to show you how a graph is made. Tomorrow I need to decide which game should I play, right? Should I play cricket or should I play badminton? So this is a very simple graph that I trying to make here, and I will see step by step how to make this, and then after that I will connect it to a large language model using Grok API key. So just give 1 second, it is connecting. S- Yeah, the first time when you once you run, it takes time. I think mine was running. Yes, just give it 1 second. I think So many notebooks are open now. It's okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me refresh this. Something is happening. I think it is stuck. I need to open a new notebook. It is nothing is happening. Anyways, I will open from here again. I think a lot of windows are open. I should start closing down the windows so it becomes very slow. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, now it ran. So this was the use case that I was mentioning. Just a simple decision, what I'm going to play tomorrow, and accordingly it is going to decide, and it is going to uh, so this is a something that we are doing. We are just creating the three nodes. First node is that I am what I am playing, and then it is going to decide cricket or badminton. And we are going to make this particular thing. How you will see how we are making this. First, we just define the nodes, and then we are mentioning the second node and the third node is going to come down, and then the probability that we are going to play the first and the second is 50%. So because there is as there are two things that are there, and this is how I think that now we are going to show how the graph looks, and for that we need to install LangGraph. So we have just made the nodes right now, the second node, the third node, and then we are giving that split. And now how to look at this, we need LangGraph. So what we are doing, if you see this code, we are giving it a very basic state, and then we are mentioning the nodes. See the first node, the second node, and the third node. Then we are giving a logic start with first node, and then if you see the second node and the third node, we are adding the edge to it, and then we are giving the compiler. We are compiling this particular graph. So three things we need to do. If you remember, state, then we are giving the first node, that is the start node, and then we are defining the two edges, that are the second node and third node, and then we are using something called as a mermaid. If you know mermaid is used to display graphs that are there. So once I run this, you will see this particular thing. So it starts here, then it asks the question whether I want to play badminton, and then it decides accordingly with a 50% probability, will I play badminton or will I play cricket. Okay, so this is something that it is going to be there. So this is just to show you how a graph is actually made. This is not for any project to show you how it works in a project, but this is just to show you at ground level what is a node, what is a edge that I was talking about in the diagram. So if you see, this is a node start. First node is your what is the person playing. This is called a node, and this is called conditional edges, and you can see in the code we have defined step by step, and if you change the name will also get changed accordingly. So I request after this call, every one of you can try out this yourself, and you will see how it works. You can add if fourth node as well by just adding a few one extra line of code, and see there will be three nodes as well. So now I'm going to invoke this graph. I'm going to invoke. So I have created the graph. Now I'm going to ask a question. Hi, my name is Mohammed. And now the graph is going to decide. Now you see or what is happening. If you see how we define the graph, that 50% probability is for this graph to decide. that what I am going to play. So what is the use case that Muhammad Arshad is going to play what game? Is he going to play football? Oh, sorry, he's going to play cricket or badminton. And we have created the graph. We have created the whole the structure. You can see we have created the building. And now I am asking the question. So I am invoking the graph. So the compiled graph implements the runnable protocol. This provides a standard way to execute the LangChain component. Invoke is one of the standard methods in this. So now I am asking a question. Hi, this is Muhammad. And then the graph state. Then this particular graph, the question is going to go, my name is Muhammad, and then they're going to decide according, it's a random thing just to show you what I'm going to play, right? It is going to be random. So I just ran this, you will see. Now it is coming, I am playing cricket. If you, I don't know if you keep running multiple times, it will change. But yeah, see now I ran it, it is coming, I am playing badminton. So 50% probability if you keep running it accordingly, the node is called, the first node is called, and the third node is called. In the previous one you saw, the second node is called for cricket. And then this is the current state. So when I say graph state, just think about it as the final output of the whole graph that you created. And like just suppose when you ask a question in the large language model, you ask the question like this, and the question goes to the main node, and then it splits up, and then it decides, and then gives you the final answer. And the final answer is represented by the final state of that particular graph. So this graph is closed, and this is the output that we have got. Now, before I go to the chatbot part, anyone has a question in understanding this use case, please ask in the chat or raise your hands, and then I will go to the chatbot thing. And once you run this code, you will understand more to see how it works. But just think about, you first thing is you create this graph structure in a very basic way, and then you ask any specific question, and we call it invoking in this space, and accordingly we will get the answer. And then when we talk about chatbots, you are going to make it a little bit more complex, but this is one of the basic structures every one of you should be aware of. And later on after this call, practice by yourself, because this notebook can be run easily by everyone. Only thing that you need to do is make sure your grok API key is run. So right now my grok API is not there. I have to play it. Grok, we are using grok here. Till now we have not used keys till now. Sayed, till here we have not used key till this code. Graph state. In chatbot we are going to use the key. We are going to use grok. Till now because we have not used any large language model. We have just used LangGraph. So for LangGraph, everyone, for LangGraph we don't need a key. We need a key only for, because LangGraph is just a like LangChain also, if you remember, we don't need any API key. We need API key only for large language model. Like here we are using, yes, key, yeah, the key that we are using is Grok in this use case. You can use OpenAI key if you want for OpenAI, but Grok API key is free. So for people who don't have, I think all of you have Grok API key. Hani, you have Grok API key, Hani? If you don't have, I will share you the link as well. So Grok is here. Grok, everyone who does not have the key, you can take it. I will just share you the link, and I will share you one video also. But it is very simple. You go to this, you don't need your credit card. So Barry, yeah, just go to this website. Yeah, go to this website. You just sign in with your Google, and once you sign in, you can just generate it free like OpenAI key. That is the only thing you require. And if you have any questions, you can put on the chat. I will help you as well. So I have already shared the key. Just go to this API key and then just go here and just do create API key. Once you create API key, you copy it and you can paste it here and put the same name like grop API key. And then we will go to the next code, and make sure that whatever name you have put here, the same name is here. So mostly use the same name, grop API key in capital. Okay. Can I proceed to the chatbot? Anyone has any question regarding the cricket game that I showed you? My name is Mohammed. I am playing badminton this weekend, according to the graph. And if I keep running this multiple times, it will change. Badminton. Uh, Yeah, now see, now the second node is called. Now it is cricket. So if you keep, because it is random, it is using a import random. So this is just to show you how it works. Import random, and then if random dot random is greater than 0.5, it is showing you this particular thing. So this is interesting. Now what I will do is I will now go to the our chatbot part, the interesting part of our use case, right? So for chatbot, if you see, we require same things: state graph, start and end, and type dict for the typing extension to create the node, and message to send the message to our uh, node, and then accordingly to get this answer. So same thing we want to add messages that are there, and we want to build the graph for this particular state graph. So right now we are just and everything that I am running is from the LangGraph documentation. Just I changed the few things like keys and everything accordingly. And now this, see what I am doing right now in this code. This is very important for everyone, that you use this make grop API key is equal to user data dot get grop API key. This has to come from your you need to add a new secret key and put it here, and then you need to put os.environment. Make sure that this name is exactly the same that you have there. If not, it will give you an error, but that is fine. Then you can get in touch with me, I can fix it later. So this is, we are using langchain grok. So everyone who does not know what is a grok, does everyone know what is why are we using grok? Grok is an open source large language model that is giving you access to different models like llama, DeepSeek, Qwen, distance, and everything that is there. Okay, so this is something that it is giving us. So that is the reason, and right now it's free to use. So we are using this. For this use case, we are using this simple model, small model. We want to run everything quick. Gamma 2 9 billion IT. So we are using this model. So we are calling this large language model. If your key is not working, you will get an error here. You will get an error here. This is just to make sure to check whether your key is working or not. So if you get if you get this, it means your key is working. Now I am just initiating the state and I am returning the message. And if you see here in the last scenario, I was invoking state messages. I was invoking a specific message that is there. But now, if you remember this message, hi, my name is Muhammad. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to ask a user input. Like in a chatbot, what happens? You ask a user input, that question goes into the graph. So I'm just giving this, I'm just defining a simple variable called as a message. That is very simple. Then what we are doing is we are same way that we did in the last exercise, we are creating the node, the chatbot, we are creating start, we are creating the edge, and there we are building the graph. Very simple 4 lines of code to build the graph structure. So till now we have not passed any message. We have just built the structure. This is important. You have to add the node, add the edge, and this is something that we need to do step by step here. So if you can see, it's very simple use case. We are not complicating it today. If you, I request every one of you to run this as well. And I think we people don't have any question. So what I request you as well, if any some of you are comfortable and who are a little bit let me just share you the GitHub. I have made the GitHub, but I did not share with you, right? One second. GitHub decoding data science AI residency. So you can just open this, and if we have time, you can, one of you can at least run this and see whether you are comfortable in running this. Simple, yes, simple graph. I'll put it on the chat. Syed or someone or Nikesh, if you are comfortable, whoever have the key, who don't have the key, you can do later. Yes. Yeah, not now. Once later on, once you are doing it, you can do share it later. I just want to finish this and then take it forward. Okay, so after this, if you see this particular thing, start, chatbot, and end. Then what we are doing is we are creating the whole graph ecosystem. Now, one thing that in the master class someone asked me, like if I want to understand, some of you are new to Python, and if you really want to understand in how this what this code is doing, if you want to go in details, because if you're interested, it is not mandatory to go into too much details now. What you can do is there is a, once you click this, make this blue, there is an option here called uh, AI, Gemini AI feature, and then just explain the code. And this is going to uh, very well explain you step by step what is happening. If you want to go a little bit deeper about this, because they are using something called as object oriented programming in Python, where they're defining the class, they're defining the instances and everything, and you can read about this. This will give you an idea if you want to go a little bit in details to understand. If for you, if for someone, for you, if they are new to this particular thing, like they are getting confused, like in this case, right, what you're doing is you are defining a function with a input called user input. The user input type is string. Then you are creating a for loop, and then you are creating a stream of message. You are defining the role, that is the user, and then the content is the user input. And then after that you are creating within the for loop, you're creating one more for loop for the values. So if this is something that you want more explanation, you can do this explain code, and then it will try to explain you also in step by step what I told you. So this is little complicated because they are using inside a function, they are using two for loops, and then they are updating the message and the assistant. So now this is explaining you in a very much details, if you can see this. So this is a very good way of learning. Uh, and people who have time and who want to really go deep, like Satya and all, you can spend time to understand what is happening. And if you want to uh, expand on this or change something, you can understand and you can do it from here as well. Or you can ask here to update the code to do that specific thing that is there. So this is such a huge explanation they have given you. Function definition, streaming the graph execution, and extracting and printing the assistant response. Because end of the day, the graph is going to give you an output, and you need to extract that output that is inside messages -1, and you're going to get that output, and you're going to show it that is there. So this is a very good way for people who want to understand a little bit in detail, spend some time, and because running the code is very simple. I've already made the code for all of you. Running it is simple, but spend some time in reading this and trying to work around this. So now this particular, I am having a specific user input, this particular loop for a question. I am creating this graph. By default, I am taking a question. What do you know about LangGraph? You can ask any specific question. Then that question. And if you want to close this particular chatbot, you need to put quit, exit, or queue. If you don't put that, the loop is going to keep running. So this is what I am defining it in a loop statement. And then if I don't give any answer and I just to enter, then I will get an answer like something like this. What do you know about land graph? The default question that is there. So now if this is something that is coming in, you can ask any question here. What is LLM? So now it is going to go in the graph mode, and then it is going to give you the specific answer that is there. So what is LLM? So it is going to, it took some time, and assistant, it gave you a specific answer. And then if you want to, so this is the graph is working step by step, everything is happening. And then you can keep on asking the question in the loop. You can ask more ec- uh, big questions as well. And but the way it will give you the answer is much more better than just simple prompting. It is very quick because we are using a small model, but you can try to play around with this. And then if you press Q or anything, it is going to close the loop, close the graph, and then give you a goodbye. So this is in a very simple way. We have executed a very simple graph: start, chatbot, and end. And this is the final thing. And I think if you run this, and if you don't put anything, let me just, if I don't put anything, then it is going to give you a prompt and something like this, uh, and it is going to give you an idea. So it is going to keep giving you an idea until you write something, or else you can just do Q and it is going to exit. Cool. So this is how a simple graph works, and I'll just try to summarize this in a very simple way. What happens right now in this today's use case, I did not use any tools. I just wanted to introduce you to large language model basic. So today I just talk like this: start, LLM, and end. I did not use any tool, and I created a graph where I created a node called start node, the main node where the LLM is there, and the end node. And then I connected the gamma LLM to this particular graph, and then I created the edges, and then I had the whole structure ready where I give a specific question. It goes through this process through the graph. So I have created the graph, and then I have invoked the graph with a specific question and the LLM, the all the parameters, and then I got the output. So I used a very simple way today just for you to understand. I have not gone into tools right now, but I want all of you to start using this particular thing right now. Run this code. Once you're comfortable with this code, uh, so without coding to create tools, there is there are there should be, but right now I have to know Crew. No, Crew AI is also a framework. So Crew AI is also, you have to write the code. There is studios, but I think just to answer to Hani's question, uh, there is something called as a LangGraph Studio that we have not yet done a workshop on because it's something very new. This is something, but this I have to check in LangGraph Studio whether how you can. Uh, but till now, I don't know any tools because LangGraph is something very very new. What I'm telling you is at least I think maximum 6 months, not more than that. So I think that till now I have to do research, but there is like this is something called as a LangGraph Studio. You still need to. I have to check. You have to. I have to check. Anyone knows about this? Please let us know. I think there is something called LangGraph Studio, but you as you write the code, it is going to draw the this thing by itself. There is no drag and drop option that I know. Once you write the code and you execute it, then these things will be created. Like what I have done here as well. I have created the structure. If you see, I have just created the structure, and this is not too tough of a code. This is just adding a node, adding an edge, adding a node, and then just do graph builder.compile, and then I'm displaying it here. So, but in the studio, if you run this code, this will get ready. You don't need to run, but there is no drag and drop as of now. Maybe, uh, uh, yeah, in the future when we do LangGraph Studio, maybe I have to explore. But till now, uh, uh, because this is something very new, so we have to still explore. Yes, it can generate code also. You can ask any. It can generate anything. So this is you have connected this LLM application, right? So this is it. You ask any specific question, write Python code for uh, anything, creating Fibonacci series. So anything you write, it is going to do that. Becau- So it is going to write code, whatever you say, it can do. But we can make it more powerful by adding tools, by adding in the next workshops, we will do that. And just one more thing before you guys try this yourself, and I have announced to most of you, and I'll just give you a quick introduction as well to everyone in this call, because today I wanted to talk to you. The main reason was talking to you and doing this quick workshop to show you, and I request all of you to practice this yourself, put in the group if you have issues, and then go through this particular product. So this is something that I'm working for the last 1 month on, researching on these topics and giving you a talk. So have a look at this. I'm sharing with all of you this particular. So yes, so go through these videos. So these are some of the new videos that I have created. Yeah, and you go through this and understand. Now, this question, that is the question that Hani is asking, what is the difference between this and connecting? Because here, as I was telling you, we are getting into the agentic system, wherein if you connect it directly to the LLM, then this particular thing will not happen. This particular thing will not happen. If you connect it directly to the LLM will give you a basic output. But right now, in today's example, we have not connected it to the tool, which we will do in the next workshop. Today was just an introduction to for this one line to show you how it works. But the purpose of why we are using we are not using LLM directly. We can ask an LLM a question, and LLM will give you an answer. But this system, this graph system that I showed you, what it does is uh, back and forth. If suppose I ask a question, right? Today I asked a question, and if today I asked a question, what is a LangGraph or what is a LLM? And LLM gave me an output, very basic output. If I don't like that output, right? If the LLM will read it one more time, if it will think about it one more time, it is using a React framework, reason and acting. It is thinking about it, and it is giving an answer that is there. And uh, if you just use basic LLM, like if you just use, it is not going to think. Like if you know all this question, like how many R's are there in a strawberry, if you put it to just a normal LLM, it is going to give you two. It is not going to do it properly. But the good thing about LangGraph is it thinks multiple times, unless it throws you an output. So this is what is the why are we all are talking about not using LLM directly, but putting it into through this particular system where there is in this chatbot there is an iteration till it receives the output. You cannot see the iterations because everything is happening very fast in milliseconds, but it is thinking and then it is giving you an answer, and the quality of response is very well. Yes, so yes, so here it is iterating inside the chatbot. It is iterating, like what I showed you in this diagram, this particular diagram, and it is iterating, and there is something called reason and action. This is a type of prompting where they think, they reason, they think about their action, then they do the action. And if they don't like the action, if they don't like the output, they again iterate and make sure that the answer is correct. Not in today's use case. In today's use case, it is not possible. In the next use case, when we are using a little bit tools, but everything is there. If you go through these videos, we have shown you. If you go through these workshops, we have done some workshops here, like this one, multi agents for digital transformation. Then this one, research automation project using multi language. Here it is shown. Plus, if I think I had a I think maybe not, I will show later because it is little bit advanced topic that is there, and we will show that as well. Maybe in the next workshop we can show that. This workshop was just to get you introduced to the Lang graph, chain of line graph, how a basic line is being created. Uh, Straight right now, it's very simple. We are not adding tools, but once you do this, you understand this particular thing. To you when you're able to run this particular thing, then we will be just adding one layer of tools here as well, like connecting it to a specific thing that is there, connecting it to a Google search, or a Wikipedia or an archive. So Nikesh, if you know about it, right? So for Nikesh and everything, so yes, is it possible that language? Yes. This is something that is possible if you remember when we were doing the use case, Nikesh, in our master class, where we were using web, we were using archive, if you remember, and we were using web and archive, and LLM was summarizing the answer and giving you the answer accordingly. If you remember, we did a use case when we took one step further. If you remember, that was, I think, we used for that use case, we used Crew AI, right? Nikesh? Yeah. So that was Crew AI. That was high level framework. The same thing that we can do here also. So just to for everyone's context, Nikesh is asking, like, suppose in this case, in my use case, I am asking a question about a specific topic. The and what happens, and you will see this in action. Maybe I will do a future workshop, maybe next week, everyone. So the suppose you ask a question about DeepSeek. So DeepSeek is not available in ChatGPT because it is latest information. It is going to go to the website, get the information. It is going to go to archive, get the information. It is going to go to Wikipedia, get the information. And from all the three information, it is going to summarize the answer, and then it is going to proofread it, and then it is going to push it here. So if it will happen like this, step by step. So first it is going to go here, like what is DeepSeek. Then it is going to go, and first it is going to go to the web tool. It is going to get the information. Then second time it is going to go to archive. It is going to get the information. It is going to Wikipedia. It is going to get the information. So there are going to be three sources of information: one, two, and three. And then it is going to summarize all the three information, which one is the most, and it's going to give importance according to his thinking. Wikipedia, it gives most importance because everyone knows Wikipedia as the truth, source of truth, compared to any other website. So it is going to give more importance, like if Wikipedia has something about it. And then it is going to summarize and give you the answer at this state. Once it feels that the answer is ready, then it is going to come here, and then it is going to go. It is very similar to Crew AI that we had done, Nikesh, but you can do the same thing in LangGraph. The only thing in LangGraph, if you see, Nikesh, people who have seen who have seen Crew AI, they know that Crew AI is very simple to use. LangGraph, for non-coders, LangGraph will be little bit intimidating. Like for people who don't do Python coding, they are first time they are seeing, they will get intimidated by this. But the purpose is not to get you intimidated, it's to show you at the granular level how it looks. So the iteration happens here, and this is the good thing about it. So the I request all of you, LangGraph is at low level to see how everything works. But if you understand these things little bit in details, then you can use any framework. You can use no code tools. Maybe in the future some no code tool will come. I have to explore LangGraph Studio in Ramadan. I will explore that as well and do some workshops on that as well, no code. But Crew AI is better. If I recommend you, Hani, if you want little bit no code option, because this looks little complicated for this thing, we have done workshop here on Crew AI. If you see this workshop on Crew AI, so this particular thing, for everyone who wants to get into details of AI agents and agentic mastery, I request you to go to this, everyone here in the call. This is theory, right? This is theory is very important to know, because everyone is right now is confused. What is the difference between a basic LLM and AI agents, agentic AI? So these theory videos will be very good for you to understand. Then we go in action. AI agent in action. So for LangChain versus LangGraph. So go through this video, go through these videos. I have explained it in very short videos, and I've explained some other tools like Phi Data also, which is very good as well. And then these are the workshops that we have done. Today's workshop, today is a simple graph workshop that we did to, because someone was asking me how to create a simple graph, because we did not cover it in the previous workshops. So I don't want to repeat previous workshops that we have already done. If something new comes, I will do it, but uh, These things I request all of you in the call, in your free time, please go through this in a very patient manner, because I am still working on this every day. I'm trying to add something, edit something, and today's workshop was just to connect with all of you, to show you one simple use case like this. I'll be updating this code, the video, by tomorrow. All of you can get this here. Here it will come here with the date that I have done a workshop on this date of for AI agents, LangGraph, and this is a low level to show you how a specific thing works. And more details we will be talking in the future workshops. I will be doing in the next Ramadan time also. I'm going to do a lot of I'll be doing workshops on this AI agents, and I'll be having Q&A calls for this topic. If you have any questions, use the chat to do this. And the best way to know more also is this document, because this keeps updating in a very, very good way. You can read about this and see how it goes. Okay, any questions? Any one of you have any specific questions? Uh, Please ask me. And I request people, if you have not gone through this video, start putting some time here. Let me share with you the product page. I have already shared once, and this is a very good way. It may be a little confusing in the start, but once you keep running it, you see what's happening. It is not that confusing. It is just a matter of this thing. So let me just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let me put it on the chat and put the links in WhatsApp. Yes, I will do that as well. I will put it in WhatsApp also. Uh, yeah. Any one of you is coming tomorrow? Tomorrow for our community meetup in Coders HQ? Yes, it is at. Yes, I will share you the link. I will share you the link. Yeah, we are. This is a very different type of. We are not going to have much panels. We are going to have a debate, and we are going to have networking and Kahoot type of just interaction. We wanted to keep it a little different this time. So this is the community meetup happening. We have a lot of people who have registered. We have around 114 people who have registered. So I am, yeah, if you want to, I will accept all of you that I know personally, because I know a lot of people register, but 50% turn up. But let's see. But if you guys come, it will be fun. We will meet as well and practice this code. I've shared this also in the GitHub. Let me share it again on the WhatsApp group, and I will share the link of the meetup also in the WhatsApp group. Yes. If you have any friends, if who wants to also come, please bring them along as well. It is more about, it's not a boring session where we are going to do theory. It is more about uh, open discussion. This time we are trying to do something very different. No problem, Krituka. Next time we will do it. And thank you everyone, and for your time, for joining this call, and talk to you soon.